So we're out here to answer questions, right?
Yes.
All right. So have you ever dressed like your character as you write about her to get more of a feel of a story?
Let me just verify this for everybody that I do write contemporary, modern contemporary. So I probably do dress like my characters. However, I am very casual when I write, meaning give me jammies and I'm a happy woman.
Jammies.
Yes,
Comfy jammies on your laptop.
comfy jammies and a laptop.
All right. Okay, well, Stephanie Lyons Vinca wants to know, how did you get started writing and get published?
How did I get started writing? Interesting enough, I've known since I was a teenager what I wanted to be when I grew up. Um, so when I was about 13, I read a Harlequin romance and absolutely fell in love with the characters, with the storyline, and I knew then what I had to do later on. But at 13, things kind of get in the way, and I didn't follow my heart at first. It took me a few years. I worked for a nonprofit agency for 10 years, and I decided that if I was ever going to meet my dreams, then this was the time for me. So, with a baby on one hip, laptop on the other, I wrote a novel by the name of Double Dare. And what most people don't know about Double Dare is that I was sitting in the parking lot of Walmart, was overcome with this need to just jot down a couple of ideas, a storyline basically. And the only thing that I had on me was a restaurant napkin. And I unfolded this restaurant napkin, and with a pen on my leg, I wrote just basically maybe 2 paragraphs of a storyline. And that turned out to be my first contracted novel that I sold to Lyrical Press.
And that was what book?
Double Dare.
Double Dare.
Yes.
We are troopers. All right. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay. Rahandre Nahar wants to know when the best time of day is that you see to write. Morning, evening, before bathtub, whenever.
Before bathtub?
Yeah.
Yes, I like to write. I like to write about an hour in the morning. But normally, most of my writing time is in the afternoon. I write about 3 or 4 hours a day, sometimes more, sometimes less. I like to write about anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 words a day. But before my bath, well, it all depends.
Depends if you take a bath.
I take daily baths. That's an interesting question, but we'll leave it at that. It all depends on when I take my bath, my shower.
All right. Angela Dublin wants to know, what is your favorite? Where is your favorite place to write?
My favorite place to write.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I had my choice, my dream choice, of course, that would be on the beach by the ocean, of course. That would be my wish one day. But of course, here in Ohio, we don't have any oceans. And the beaches are by dirty lakes. So it's really not an option at this point. I do write at home. I like natural sunlight, so I have my favorite chair and ottoman sitting by a large window with the light coming in, and that's where I write.
Okay. Madison Edwards says, have you found that what happens in your personal life weaves itself into your stories?
Well, I think it would be impossible as a writer not to allow outside influences kind of be intertwined in our storylines. Yes, I kind of have a joke, but isn't it quite a joke that um, you know, certain things that people say stick with me, and I find that I will write entire characters after that one thing that one person said. I, if I've had a bad day, if maybe something has bothered me, I'll sit down and write, and I'll suddenly realize that my characters are being a little nasty that day. So I have to stop and kind of pull in what my character's true personality is. But it's just impossible for me to not say that I don't use influences and I don't write about them, because I do. Do I use names, real names? No. All my names are fake. And would I think that anybody could sit down and read my book and say, oh my gosh, this is me, she wrote about me? No, nobody could determine that just by reading one of my books. You might think, I imagine there are a lot of people who think that I've written something about them, but all in all, still my characters are completely fake characters. If you want to say that a fake character can be fake, because to a writer, especially for myself, they feel quite real.
All right, David M. Pritchard writes, how much writing do you do that is meant solely for exercise and not initially intended for publication? He goes on to ask how much of that finds its way into your publishable material.
Okay. Are you kidding? I don't write one word that's not meant for publication. I love writing. I love it, but it's not. It's. I want to say that it's not a hobby, because I love it so much, and we love hobbies. But it's not a hobby. It's my career, and I'm just lucky that I'm living a career that I absolutely love. But every word that I write is precious, and it's meant for publication. In fact, my latest book that I was offered a contract on, I had 85,000 words. By the time that I was done polishing, I had about 52,000 words. It's hard to get rid of that much material, because that's a lot of words. That's a lot of time that I had dedicated to that work. But in the long run, it didn't fit. And I think as much as it hurts sometimes to get rid of that much material, to make it a better book, we got to do what we've got to do.
Okay. Well, I think we might have covered this earlier, but Dave writes and wants to know, what do you wear while you write?
We maybe have covered that a little bit, but I know that people's perception of an erotica writer might be, we sit around in our lingerie and that's what motivates us. That's not what motivates me. That's who I can speak for. I love my jammies. I love wearing jammies. I didn't say lingerie, I said jammies. And that's comfortable for me. And I do my best writing in my jammies. I think a lot of my co-writer friends would agree that jammies are motivating. They are comfortable, they feel good, and so if anybody's perception is that I sit around in hot lingerie. Please keep that perception. I don't want to change that. Please keep that perception of me. If that's what you think of when you read my books, that's fine. But truth is, I give me my jammies and I'm a happy woman.
Okay. An anonymous fan writes, do you ever fantasize about being the character when you write?
Well, that's difficult to answer because because I think that each of my characters have their own unique personality. Do I think that maybe I kind of overindulge myself sometimes by giving my characters a sliver of my attitude, my character and personality? Yes, I would have to say I do. But all in all, my characters, they are who they are, and many times they write themselves. Sometimes I don't even know what the next page holds, and I think I must be doing something right.
Okay. Another anonymous fan wants to know what actor you have a crush on.
Oh my. I'm not a big TV watcher. I'm not a big movie watcher. I do like to watch movies sometimes. But to answer this honestly, Mark Wahlberg just does something for me. I don't know why. He does. He kind of has that badass yet sweet kindness to him, and I think that a lot of my heroes have that same character. They are badass yet are very sweet, very kind, very unique people. But he just does something for me, and I don't know how to expand that any further, but just to say that don't all women love Mark Wahlberg?
I don't know. This could be the same answer. I don't know, but one other anonymous writer asks, what actor do you use as your fantasy hero?
I don't. I know that I've stated that Mark Wahlberg kind of is similar to my characters, but as I'm typing, do I conjure up these seductive images of Mark Wahlberg half naked? No, I don't. Just like my characters have their unique personalities, they also have their unique physical features. I know that if most of my readers know that my characters, especially my male characters, they're not model perfect men. In fact, most of my characters physically have been flawed in some way, whether it's in war, whether it's by an accident. They have physical flaws, and I think that that's truer to reality than making our characters model perfect. And I've read many, not to say that if that's how writers want to write, that's great, but I've read many novels that aren't true to life form, that nobody's model perfect, whether it be in character or whether it be physically. So my characters will always have flaws.
So Rhonda, what is something that people may not know about you?
Well, there are probably a lot of things that people don't know about me, and most of it I'd like to keep it that way. But the one thing I don't mind sharing is that I'm colorblind. Um, of course, if you know, everybody knows what colorblind means, so I don't need to explain it. But not everyone knows that. But just like when I look at you right now, I can't tell the color of your hat. I mean, I can guess, but I'm not sure. But that's an interesting fact about myself. I guess it's interesting.
That you're colorblind.
Yes.
So Rhonda, what is your favorite movie?
What is my favorite movie? I don't have a favorite movie. I love movies. I do love movies. I just don't get an opportunity to watch a lot of movies. So when I do have the opportunity to watch a movie, I'm hoping that it's one that has been worth the time to sit down and watch it. The last movie that I had seen, it was with my girls, and it was the animated movie, The Brave, and I liked it. I liked the movie. In fact, I almost started crying in that movie, which I can't believe I'm admitting that, but I did. But that was the last movie I had seen, but I can't name just one movie that is my favorite.
Well, what kind of movie do you like the best? Action, love story, adventure?
I can't believe you're asking that question. Love story, of course.
Serious?
Serious it is. Love stories are my favorite. That doesn't mean that I don't like action. You know, I like drama. I do. I had watched Contraband not too long ago, and I liked it. Of course, Mark Wahlberg was in it. That helped.
So how about television? Do you watch much TV?
I don't. I think the only show that I have watched here recently was Hell's Kitchen. And funny enough, I love how he teaches me lessons at what I should and shouldn't do in the kitchen. And I find myself when I'm getting ready to prepare something that I kind of take on his persona, and I'm like, don't do that. You cannot mix flavors. You know, it's just no matter what it is. I find him to be very funny.
So what do you do in your spare time other than write and take care of your kids?
Besides taking care of my kids, that names it. There is nothing left. Not quite true, but I love soccer. I love traveling. I love the ocean. Would love to live close to the ocean. But all in all, I just, you know, I take care of my kids most of the time. So there's not much left after that.
So Rhonda, what's the latest work that you've been working on?
I was just offered a contract on with Honor, of course, just like the name says. That's a military erotica, and everybody, hopefully, if they know my writing style, I like to throw in kind of twists and turns. And I'm not going to tell anybody what the twist and turn is in this story because I really want people to find out for themselves. But it's not your everyday romantic book. There's some unusual twists and turns in there that make it more modern feeling. But I don't know yet when it'll be out. I hope this year, early next year, but it'll come out with Lyrical Press.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, Rhonda Nahar wants to know, which is the best time when you thought... Oh, wait a minute, I gotta stop that.